So, have you ever been online, about to read something that looks really interesting, and suddenly you're asked for your email? Yeah, that moment right there. It's at the very heart of a huge debate in business, and today, we're going to unpack it. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You click a link for a guide, a white paper, whatever, and bam, a form pops up demanding your details. It's like a digital toll booth, and we're about to figure out if paying that toll is ever actually worth it. All right, let's get into it. The best way to think about this is like a toll booth on the information superhighway. Sometimes you can just cruise on through, but other times you gotta stop and pay. Only the currency is your personal info. Okay, so let's get our terms straight. It's pretty simple. Gated content is anything locked behind one of those forms. And ungated content, that's the stuff you can access freely, no strings attached. That one little difference is what this entire strategic battle is all about. And this is not some academic debate, you know? At a big marketing event in Stockholm recently, you had major players from companies like LinkedIn arguing about this exact topic. It just goes to show you how critical this decision really is for businesses. So why on earth do so many companies put up these digital walls? Well, let's step into the shoes of a certain kind of marketer to understand the logic. For the performance marketer, everything is about getting results you can measure right now. And for them, content has one main job: to capture the contact info of potential customers. We call those leads. It's all about feeding the sales team. It really is a numbers game. And here's the thinking behind it. First, the idea is that putting something behind a gate automatically makes it feel more valuable, more exclusive. Second, it helps filter for people who are actually serious. I mean, they were willing to give you their info, right? And finally, you can use that data to send them more targeted stuff later. It's all about efficiency. But hold on, that is only one side of the coin. There's a really powerful counterargument here, and it suggests that this focus on just getting leads has a huge, often invisible price tag. Let's talk about something called the trust cost. The basic idea is that every form, every single barrier you put in front of someone creates friction, and that friction can chip away at the most important thing you need to build with a customer, their trust. And this cost shows up in a few ways. First, you just flat out scare away people who are curious but not ready to hand over their email. Second, you kill your search engine rankings, because if Google can't read your content, it can't show it to anyone. And the biggest irony, you often just get a list full of fake emails from people who put in test@test.com just to get the download. This quote from the source material really hits the nail on the head. Think about it. If your whole point is to prove that you're an expert, why would you hide your best proof behind a wall? It's completely backwards. So what we have here are two totally different goals, right? Get leads right now versus build trust for the long haul. It seems like you have to pick one. But what if that's the wrong question? What if the real goal is to figure out how to do both? This whole debate really pulls back the curtain on a company's philosophy. Are they all about performance marketing, playing the short game, just trying to capture leads today? Or are they playing the long game of brand building, where earning trust and showing everyone how smart you are is the real prize? And this is where it all clicks. What the experts in Stockholm basically agreed on is that there's no single right answer for everyone. The smartest companies don't just pick a side. They built a flexible strategy that knows when it's okay to ask for an email and when it's better to just give away amazing content for free to start a relationship. To do that, you have to completely change your mindset. It's about moving away from asking, how do we get more names for our spreadsheet? And instead starting to ask, what is our customer actually trying to do? And how can our content genuinely help them do it? That changes everything. Okay, so this is all great in theory, but how do you actually make the call in the real world? Well, the source material gives us a pretty simple two-step audit. Think of it as a hand-on-heart moment of honesty before you even think about putting up a gate. Let's walk through it. First, you have to get brutally honest about how good your content actually is. And second, you've got to be just as honest about why you're thinking about locking it up in the first place. So, question number 1. Is this piece of content truly special? Is it some groundbreaking research, a unique tool, something so good that a customer would go, you know what, this is a fair trade for my email address? Because if it's just a rehash of stuff they can find anywhere else, that gate is just going to be an annoyance. And now for the tough one. Question number 2. Are you really just gating this because you have a quota to hit? If the only reason that gate exists is to pump up your lead numbers, you are probably sacrificing customer trust and long-term success for a short-term win. And that leaves us with this final thought. The next time you're online and you hit one of those forms, ask yourself, is this a genuine signal of value or is it just a barrier? Am I about to get something amazing or am I just becoming another number on a spreadsheet? The answer tells you pretty much everything you need to know.